Welcome everyone, thank you for joining us where we are stuck in the Kernfield. On this channel, we discuss the weird, unusual, and sometimes baffling things about Illinois and the Midwest. Today we will be exploring 10 of the weird names that have been given to Illinois towns, villages, and cities. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to subscribe and like our video. So without further ado, here are 10 of the worst names in Illinois. Number 10. Oblong. Oblong is located in Crawford County with a population of 1,466 residents according to the last census. It was incorporated in 1883. The town originally sat on an oblong piece of prairie, hence the name Oblong. It is home of the Illinois Oilfield Museum and Resource Center, a collection of oilfield artifacts from the early days of the oil industry in the Illinois basin. It has a livability score of 71. Crime, cost of living, real estate, and rental prices are all well below the Illinois average. However, they are rated at an F in education. Only 82.9% of the residents have a high school diploma. Number 9. Normal. Normal is located in McLean County with a population of 54,534 residents. It is half of the Bloomington-Normal metropolitan region, and it is a college town. Illinois State University, the state's oldest public college, as well as Heartland Community College and a satellite campus of Lincoln College are all present within the city. Originally dubbed North Bloomington, the town's name changed to Normal in 1865 and was incorporated in 1867. ISU was originally called Illinois State Normal University, with the Normal School being an institution for training teachers. The town took its name from the college. They have a livability score of 72. Crime, cost of living, real estate, and rental prices are all below the Illinois average. They were graded an F, however, in education, despite the presence of higher education campuses within the city. Explain that one. Number 8. Noble. Noble is a village in Richland County with a population of only 677 residents. There are several stories as to how the town got its name. One story is that a large number of settlers came from Noble County, Ohio. Another is that the first contractor to construct a part of the Ohio and Mississippi Railroad was Noble Irish. It was also reported that several families bearing that name lived near Noble. None of these theories, however, have been verified. People started settling in the region in 1818, but the village of Noble wasn't incorporated until 1862. At that time, there were about 600 people living there. The livability score is only 58. They have a low cost of living, but their crime rate is 51% higher than the Illinois average. Property crime rates are through the roof. If you live in this area, there's a good chance that someone is going to walk off with your stuff. You should just avoid moving to Noble. Number 7. Fidelity. Fidelity is a tiny village in Jersey County with only about 114 residents, according to the 2010 census. Local legend has it that in 1829, a man named Joseph Russell was traveling through the area when his horse went lame, leaving him stranded. One of the early settlers, Samuel Simmons, offered Russell a replacement horse, to which he replied, "That's true fidelity." Simmons built a log cabin in the village, and Russell and his brother also settled there. During the 1800s, there were several businesses existing within Fidelity, but today the only business remaining is the post office. The livability score is only 52. Cost of living, real estate, and rental prices are all considerably lower than the Illinois average, but the crime rate is a whopping 62% higher than the average. How does a village of 114 have such a high crime rate? I mean, that's one heck of a head scratcher. If that isn't a deal breaker for you, and you do decide to move to Fidelity, there's currently one house for sale, and it'll set you back $95,000. Number 6. Equality. Equality is a village in Gallatin County with a population of 595 at the time of the last census. During the 10 years between 2000 and 2010, Equality lost 126 residents. The livability rate is only 62 due to a crime rate that is 49% higher than the Illinois average. The cost of living and housing market are all below average, though. French settlers were in the area as early as 1735. Despite being named Equality, the town's history suggests it was an ironic name. There were special laws in the early 1800s that allowed slaves to be kept, even though Illinois was a northern state. At the time of the 1820 census, there were 239 slaves or servants included in the population total. The village was also home to a man named John Hart Crenshaw, who would kidnap free black people and sell them into slavery as part of a scheme known as the Reverse Underground Railroad. I couldn't find an explanation as to why the town is named Equality. If anyone knows the answer to that, leave a comment below. The current population is 99% white, so the name of the town should really be called something more along the lines of, say, Milk, Illinois. Maybe they should take a poll to come up with a new name. Number 5. Assumption. Wikipedia calls Assumption a city, but with a population of only 1,168, I think it would be more accurate to call this a village or maybe a small town at best. It is located in Christian County, and Assumption was originally called Tecumseh, but around 1856 they changed the name to match that of Assumption in the province of Alberta, Canada. The story told by locals is that two brothers, Ellisy and Francis Malliot, or maybe Ellisy and Francis Malliot, not really sure how to pronounce that, but anyway, they wanted to found a Canadian colony for their relatives and friends, and they convinced 150 people to move from Canada to Illinois, and the settlement was given the name of Assumption after a parish in Louisiana. In 1902, the settlement was incorporated as a city. The livability score is 63. They score an A on cost of living and crime, but they get marked down for employment, housing, and schools. Only 82.5% of the population in Assumption have completed the 8th grade, so for some people, Assumption might be the biggest word that they can spell. Number 4. Industry. Industry is a village in McDonough County, population 478 at the time of the 2010 census, but recent estimates put it at 437 residents. I couldn't find any information on how the village got its name or to what industry it refers, but based on the job listings for the area, it seems that one of the main industries currently is insurance. I also found that there was a Civil War soldier from industry named Jesse Scudder, who in 1886 was finally approved for a pension. The war had been over for 21 years at that point, so I guess it's better late than never. The livability score is 70, with cost of living and housing being well below the Illinois average. The average real estate price is only $66,500, and rent runs around $590. The crime rate is 43% higher than average. I'm sensing a pattern with these small, oddly named towns. They're cheap to live in, but there seems to be a massive crime issue on the prairie. Moving on. Number 3. Muddy. Muddy is a village in Saline County. It has been steadily losing residents since the 1980s. According to Wikipedia, there were 68 residents in 2010, down from 88 in 1980. New data suggests that the current population may only be around 32 residents. The village was originally a settlement for miners established by the Harrisburg Big Muddy Coal Company, which is how it was given its name in 1903. Muddy was once home to a Russian Orthodox church, which was built in 1913 and paid for by Tsar Nicholas II. Building the church was intended to serve the large influx of European settlers who came to work in the mine. Unfortunately, the mine was flooded in 1937 and the settlers moved on to another county. The church fell into disrepair and was finally demolished in 2019. Number 2. Energy. Energy is a village in Williamson County in the southern part of the state. The population during the last census was 1,146. Recent data shows it now to be around 1,166, so it looks like they gained about 20 people. The village was given its name in reference to the local energy brand coal. The livability score is 80 with a low crime rate, cost of living, and housing market. They get a C- for employment and a C+ for schools, but so far they have the best score on the list. Let's see if they keep it. Number 1. Bone Gap. Bone Gap is a village in Edwards County in southern Illinois. The population there has been steadily declining. In 2000, there were 272 residents. In 2010, they were down to 246. And now, depending on the source, they have an estimated population of between 187 and 223 residents. The town name is derived from the mispronunciation of what the French trappers in the region called the area, which was Bone Paw, which meant good step. People from Kentucky changed the pronunciation to Bone Pass, as in a passageway through mountains. The word pass was then changed to gap, and therefore the area became known as Bone Gap. The livability score is 61, with a lower than average cost of living, but the crime rate is a whopping 61% higher than the Illinois average. I don't know what it is with these oddly named small towns. They're cheap to live in, but they have inexplicably high crime rates. So if you choose to live in one of these areas, you might not make it to old age. So that was part 1 of the worst town names in Illinois. Be sure to watch for part 2, which will be coming out shortly. If you learned something new or you just like this video, remember to hit the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I remain stuck in the Kernfield.